What's something attractive people can do that ugly people can't? Go out broke and come home drunk. I'd say even for attractive men the only way to do this is going to a gay bar. The trick is to sit in strategically valuable seats, then be courteous and gracious when asked to move to make room for late arrivals. People will often buy you a drink for the trouble. Bartender will probably tell you to get lost when you sit there for 10 minutes without ordering anything. Us uglies go out drunk and come home broke. A girl just drove 3 hours to fuck my roommate. They never really spoke or met before this. Blew my mind. Jesus. What does your roommate look like? I'd be more interested to know what the girl looks like LMAO. I once had a colleague who was Ronaldo Robbie Williams type good looking. A girl showed up to our house for him, but he was already in his room with another girl. We told her expecting her to be upset, but she said, "I know, I'll wait with you until they're done." I know a guy in his 20s. He's very traditionally good looking, in good physical shape, and has a personality that's like a playful dumb puppy. Women trip over themselves to get with him. Despite the fact that he keeps cheating on his girlfriends, and even fucked his brother's wife while the brother was deployed in the military. Also, he's also something of a loser because he blows all his money, avoids as much responsibility as possible, and can't even be bothered to buy a shitty beater car. But regardless, he has a constant line of very attractive women all ready to get with him because of his looks and charm. Must be nice. I've had one of my friends get rejected because the girl found the best friend of that guy, me, to be too ugly. My friend got rejected because I am ugly. Anyone can ask, but attractive people are so much more likely to get help from strangers. Just a sad little twisted fact of life. There was a question on Reddit years ago about ugly people, what's it like? One woman said something which stuck with me. Waiters often lose my order. Yep, that's me. My orders are frequently forgotten or go missing. You're not ugly. You're forgettably plain. There's a difference. If you were ugly, everyone would remember you. 'Cause you're ugly. So ugly that it scars the mind in how offensive it is. So cheer up, chap. You're not ugly, eh? I wouldn't know. I am handsome. Source, my mom. The both of us are pretty handsome. Source, our grandmas. I have a good-looking business partner. We are constantly delegating tasks based on whether we need Sasquatch or Captain America. Sounds like the makings of an entertaining sitcom. People will go completely out of their way to do things for them. Moving? Something broke? Card declined? Someone will help them. Oh, people are all so nice in this town. I work for my local university, so I'm in a few university Facebook groups. One girl once made a post about how nice everyone was to her since she got to campus and how everyone was going way out of their way to be friendly to her. I clicked on her profile and she basically looked like a model. She definitely had a different experience than I did in school. I had to explain to my wife something similar years ago. She was telling me a story and I had to stop her in the middle of it to explain. Years before we dated, she had gone to the local casino with her friend for that friend's birthday. And some dudes just paid for their whole evening. Gave them money to gamble with them. No strings attached. No expectations. My wife and her friend didn't hook up with the dudes or even so much as kiss them, just hung out while rolling thousands of dollars, and the two guys said they could keep whatever they won. She somehow didn't think that was uncommon for people to just, randomly ask you and your friend to help them go spend piles of money. I replied, "Yeah, that means you're hot." They wanted to feel like big-time rollers and that they had 2 fine pieces of arm candy to walk the floor with like you see in casino movies. She seemed skeptical still. By its very nature, privilege is invisible to those who possess it and makes them uncomfortable to consider that might be the case. It was so weird, people in my town got way nicer after I lost 80 pounds. Surely just a coincidence. I still hold my arm out to catch the closing door. Men hold it open for me now, but this changed even faster than my muscle memory. Always having dating options. Not actively seeking out potential partners. Potential partners seek them out. Yes, this is a big one. I remember once speaking to a model friend of a friend at a party. Like a 10-10 beautiful girl. She was complaining cause her dating life was a bit slow recently and she didn't understand what she was doing wrong. It turns out there were only, about 5 or 6 guys actively courting her at that time. 5 or 6 dudes were literally texting, or calling her to hang out, and she just wasn't into any of them, so that meant her dating life was bad. I tried to explain to her that when a regular person's dating life was bad, it meant nobody was calling or texting. Literally nobody. She truly did not understand how that was possible. I also told her that I once didn't have sex for a whole year cause I couldn't find anyone who would go out with me, and she literally gasped and covered her mouth in shock like she's witnessed a murder. I gave her a shrug and "It's just another Tuesday for me. Look." Yesterday my friend told me something along the lines of, "Never take dating advice from somebody who's never been rejected once in their life." To clarify, my friend was talking about people who are so attractive that they've never been turned down. We both agreed that chronically single people actually give some kick-ass relationship advice. My bestie is very attractive, but a total homebody that hates social media and most people. She was single for a few months until she got in a new relationship with her new boyfriend, who happens to be good-looking, kind, and a millionaire. How did she meet him? He saw her walking her dog regularly and asked her out. I got fat during COVID, yay depression, and let me tell you the slap of reality I got once I realized I was not attractive to the majority. And I wouldn't say I was even that attractive before. Humbled. Realized how much I could be a real drama queen that I could not get away with now. Yeah, it's called the halo effect. We tend to assume attractive people are nicer and smarter. Never ceases to amaze me how often people tend to judge on superficial appearances when this is so often an unreliable gauge of character. One of my I'm an adult now moments was realizing that a very attractive girlfriend could be a complete cunt. I'd assumed that attractive people didn't need to be petty or motivated entirely by rage like the rest of us. Funny that, I always assumed that attractive people were just as likely if not more likely to be awful people, especially later on in life when their looks no longer open doors for them. Singer-artist. Even though looks have nothing to do with talent. Makes me wonder how many amazing voices are not being heard because the record company old fat dudes don't think the artist is hot. Reminds me of a bumper sticker that made me laugh. Music was better when ugly people were allowed to make it. True. Most popular and successful singers currently are usually attractive or at least considered attractive. Flirt without cringe backlash. A lot of things that would be cringe for an ugly person attractive people can do. Get good tips as a waiter without really trying. Definitely. My cousin is good looking and she makes like $90 an hour as a waitress at freaking Smoky Bones. A super hot friend of mine used to only work 2 to 3 nights a week because she made so much in tips. Haven't seen her in a while, but I remember that conversation. Get out of prison for a felony, immediately get a modeling contract, and start dating an heiress. That story still kills me to this day. Imagine just living as you would normally, even messing up and going to jail only to be discovered and praised for something you have no control over. Dressing bad. Attractive people can wear literal rags and look good. Ugly people have to dress to the nine just to have a chance. This comment reminds me of a quote I heard once. You're not ugly, you're just poor. Attractiveness is also based on how expensive your clothing and accessories are. I think that quote originally was addressing the huge amount of resources available to wealthy people. Stuff like good dental care, personal trainers and dietitians, high-end tailors, cosmetic surgery, etc. Not to mention that chronic stress, high cortisol, about money problems causes people to age quicker and gain weight. I dated an extremely attractive, charismatic man once. It was genuinely scary what he could pull off. He could definitely be a cult leader. Now when I go on dates, if I see their charisma manipulating situations, it's an instant no. Shit's scary. Receive the fastest service from bartenders. Cut lines. Have prospective employers. See potential. And attain jobs without being totally qualified. Not get called a creep or weirdo for flirting or trying to chat to someone. I had a friend in high school get called to the office because he walked past a girl and said hi, and she claimed to feel violated. He's not even that unattractive, he just had no confidence at all. I had this happen to me in high school. I am not attractive and I have port wine stains on 50% of my body. The school threatened suspended me, and my mom lost her shit on our office because they never called her or wrote anything down. It was only verbal. I got moved from a class she was in and told to avoid her locker, so I had to take a long way around the building to get to class. Attractiveness is often the deciding factor on if you're being creepy or not. Talk to new people in public, particularly at bars and the like. I have been fit and I have been fat. Fit me talk to whomever, whenever without incident and generally with good results. Fat me doing the same equal tense body language and awkward, stunted interactions. Playing the male role in romantic movie. If the guy from 50 Shades of Grey was overweight and balding, it would be a horror flick. I've noticed that people are more patient with my stutter. My sister's boyfriend is not conventionally attractive and he stutters too. Some people just outright ignore him. Pisses me off that double standard exists. Get conversation without much effort. If an unattractive person is at a venue and doesn't know anybody, it can be a lonely experience. If you are attractive, people will try to make conversation with you all the time. I know plenty of attractive people who are not at all interesting but have tons of friends because everyone wants a good-looking person around them. What's something attractive people can do that ugly people can't? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.